Welcome back to Knights HQ podcast, the official podcast of the NIB Newcastle Knights. My name is Jay Nelson. I am the host, and there's also another host. It's a
but
two.
You are the host with the most.
Oh, thank you. Unintentional or intentional rhyme?
Intentional.
Confirmed. There are two hosts to this lovely show. To my left, Lavender By.
I'm not Marcus this week. You're changing it up.
Mix it up.
Mix it up.
Do you like Marcus?
It's growing on me.
Okay.
I feel like I have to call my kid Marcus now.
That would be good. He might play on the wing for Melbourne.
Maybe.
That'd be unreal.
How's your week been?
Good.
How's your trip down to Cronulla?
Yeah, Cronulla was okay.
Was it?
Should I tell her the story that came out of Cronulla?
The story of you stacking it not once but twice?
Okay, so you've heard.
But do go on.
Yeah.
I would love to hear this story.
Like, there's got to be footage somewhere of it.
Oh yeah, Jimmy's already actively looking for the
Have you sent an email?
I reached out to Fox this morning.
Did you? Okay.
Did you actually?
Yeah, the bloke sent me an email saying, "Can we have the VNRs from today?" And I hit back. Said,
Did you?
Is there any chance you got a wide shot of the stadium?
Anyway.
Like, I just really want to make my co-worker's life hell.
So, the reason I got into this predicament, and I won't draw it out too long, but...
No, draw it out. I reckon we'll scrap the episode and we'll just talk about this.
I had to change my battery over in my camera. So, because of the changeover between the men and the women and double headers and all that sort of stuff, it gets a bit chaotic in between the games. So, for example, like when the girls kicked off, that's when the men arrived. So we've got to get content of the men arriving, but we've also got to have someone out there to get what's going on out on the field. So, yeah, everyone's sort of wearing a few hats.
The real heroes of double headers are the content teams.
Kind of, yeah. So anyway, I had to change my battery over. So the only chance I got to do that was after they ran out. So I've got them running out. Then I've got to run back into the change room, change my battery over, get back out to the in goal. So I've done that, and I'm kind of in a rush, not really thinking like about anything else other than just getting to the spot just in case something happens.
Are you like running?
Not running, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you know when you're not where you need to be at the time you need to be there.
Power walk.
Yeah, you need to, yeah. Anyway, so, and I don't know how Zach didn't see this happen because I talked to him like 2 seconds before it happened. So I'm walking back to the in goal, and you know in the in goal they have the sponsorship like Toblerone bollard foam things that are in the in goal. So normally I never hurdle over them. I go either side of them for this reason.
Did you try to hurdle?
Correct. So I'm in a rush. I said to Zach, I'm good to go. I'm going to get down to my spot. And I'm like, not running or anything, but just kind of like hurrying along. Trip over one of them.
Like to the ground?
Oh, yeah. So in my head, this is happening in slow-mo. Obviously, it wasn't. But yeah, I'm like thinking, what am I going to do with the camera? Like, I'm falling. What do I do?
Everyone's looking at me.
So I like threw the camera at the bollard for like a soft landing for the camera. I hit the deck. I hear like people laughing in the audience. I'm like, oh my God. And the only thing that saved me was they have LED screens after the foam things. So they couldn't really see me hit the ground. They just saw me like go behind the wall, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm on the ground. I'm like, that sucks. There's like 11,000 people here and I just, fell over.
But then the second
So I'm
time.
like, just dust yourself off, grab the camera, go to your spot. Everything will be fine. Get up, dust myself off, grab the camera, trip again.
Oh, so it's immediately after.
Immediately.
To the ground again?
To the ground. So the second time I'm on my back, looking up at the blue sky, just going, what's going on here,
You're
man?
like, just bury me here.
Just
bury me. I'm done.
Anyway, dust myself back up, got back up again, went to my spot, sat there just going, please God, like there's no really good clear vision of that happening. And here we are. So if Jimmy is successful in his email correspondence,
follow Knights HQ on Instagram to see the
we might be able to
best
get
thing
footage
that
of it. But yes, it was very
seen.
embarrassing, very, very funny. Again, don't know how Zach didn't see it. He was 5 meters away from me when
And
it happened.
didn't see either of them.
It was bad. It was pretty bad.
I've never been more devastated that I didn't drive down to Cronulla on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's always the way. I did it once. I was trying to run and I was running along like towards Belmont from
Fernley
like,
track?
Swansea. No. So like, you know where like Belmont Golf Course is?
Yep.
And then you know where like the township of Belmont is?
Yep.
I'm like running up there.
Gotcha.
Like,
Past like the Gunya and sort of area.
yeah, so just before there, there's like
Yeah.
that little park.
Yeah.
And there was one of those fences with the rope between it. I'm listening to like some sort of like hype up beats. I'm like, yeah, I got this. And I go to like jump, and it's like the height of this table.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think I was doing. I go to jump, and then my foot gets caught, and I stack it like into gravel on the side of the road in peak hour traffic.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I'm never running again.
Yeah.
Not
That's a
running.
tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough scene. It was, but shout out, and definitely give us a sponsorship if you can. Shout out Sony Alpha cameras, man. That thing hit the deck twice, turned it back on, good to go.
That's a good shout out. I was
So,
actually going to ask
robust,
you about
robust.
camera
Yeah,
recommendations.
that was the
later.
one thing that I was like, as I said in my head, it was slow mo. That was the one thing I was like, please God, no, don't break any equipment.
Imagine that. Imagine having to tell your boss, oh, sorry.
Imagine having to tell the boys, oi, I can't do my job today. What
I broke
happened?
a camera because I stacked it, not once, but twice.
Anyway,
But do you want to know the good news?
last time I heard all the sponsorship bollard things,
Yeah.
that's not happening ever again.
But while you had a really bad weekend, I'm about to make it so much better. Because today,
Yep.
we got the one and only Sheridan Gallagher coming.
Oh, yeah. Shez is the best. She is a bundle of energy
A multifaceted sporting
and
legend.
can play sport. Holy.
Once captained our nation to a World Cup.
Yeah.
She also likes show jumping. There's a trend in the Newcastle Knights women's
I
team.
didn't know about the
that
show jumping thing.
There are lots of horse girls.
Okay.
We've got lots
is
of
this
fans of
actual
horses.
show jumping or is this the thing you watch where it's like the hobby horses?
No. But I do want to ask her about hobby horsing.
Okay.
She was like a pretty competitive show jumper.
Oh, there you go.
So when we interviewed her the other week about what Olympic sport she'd do, and she said equestrian,
Like she's actually done it. Like
she
rode
wasn't
horses.
taking the piss.
Oh,
I
wow.
just assumed that it was a joke.
Well, that's definitely going to be brought up.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, but before we talk to her, let's talk some footy.
What'd you think? Game 1, girls, what'd you think?
It was tough.
Tough watch?
Yeah, the Sharks are just next level, and I don't think I want to watch NRLW next year when they get CJ.
Yeah, that'll be...
I reckon we just call it. That's it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, it'll be tough to see her in other colours. Yeah. No, it was again, we had our opportunities. I thought Shining Lights, I thought Tanika played really well for her first game.
Great debut for her.
Yeah, like she was pretty solid on the wing. And I could imagine she would have been relatively nervous going up against the ladder toppers as her first game. The Sharks are just hard to play down at Shark Park. It's a bit of a fortress for them. But again, we had our opportunities, man. We had our opportunities. We just didn't ice a couple of them. A bit of ball control would have helped a lot of our cause. Jesse going down did not help at all. Was that all we had injury-wise? I think it was just Jesse that went off, correct? Do we have someone else that got HIA though?
I think there was 2 HIAs.
There was. Who was it?
Wasn't Leishon.
Nah. Who was that? Someone else got HIA. Oh, it was Lily. Lily Ann got HIA. So that reshuffled the back line again as well.
Yeah.
So, but Ben was on here before talking about, that's going to happen. It's going to happen to everyone. So, we're going to talk to Shez later. She wasn't out there either. Obviously, CJ's not out there. So when you're playing a team that's riding that wave of momentum, they're top of the ladder, and we've got injuries in key spots, ball control and doing the simple things right is very, 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 very important. So
yeah. I think the good news is, though, the ladder is just in weird ways. Like, we're still above the Titans. The Titans are in 6 at the moment. I think that top 4 is going to come right down to the wire. I don't think it's going to be...
Yeah.
I think the Sharks would really have to mess up to not be in finals now. But I think every other spot is up for grabs at this point. I haven't looked at the maths because I'm not a woman in STEM today. I'm a woman of vibes, and the vibes tell me that 2, 3 and 4 still up for grabs.
Yeah, 100%. And I think if you saw the results over the last 2 weeks, it's very, there's not one team dominating everyone. Obviously, the Sharks haven't lost, and that's obvious. But, every team has a L against their name.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
well, it's like the Broncos had a couple of shocking weeks, and then
come out and killed
the
it.
Titans.
Yeah, correct. So and the Dragons beat us, and then so it just it's
all over the place.
As we said at the start of the year, it's going to be a great season. There's not going to be one dominating team. Everyone's going to have their chance.
As much as I miss it being us being the dominating team and never having to come to terms with the idea of a loss even being a possibility, I do think it makes the league better when it's like this.
Yeah, yeah. And you got to take the good with the bad, man.
Makes the win sweeter.
Exactly right. You can't win them all, literally, and, as
devastatingly.
Losing's a part of sport, so you got to take the good with the bad. Speaking of that, the men, heartbreaking. We were there. We were in it. We were, even in the period where Phoenix was put in the bin, we put a try on them. We don't concede any points. It was there to be won. Obviously, we didn't get the bickies, but...
Do you want to know a fun fact?
Yeah, hit me.
It's not a fun fact at all. It's actually a really miserable fact. We've played...
We're having fun.
We've played 19 Golden Point games.
Yeah.
And do you ever feel like every time it goes to Golden Point, it feels like the world is against us?
Yeah.
Guess how many we've won?
I don't know.
In the entire history of Golden Point, 3.
Oh, wow. I was going to say 5.
We've drawn more than we've won.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a reflection of us. I think Golden Point should be abolished.
You're not a Golden Pointer?
No, if it gets to Golden Point, they should just award the win to us. Doesn't matter who's playing.
Okay.
Gets to Golden Point, that's a win for the Knights.
You had me there. I was waiting for some big poignant argument that you had.
No,
I just
we
win.
Because I was like, I just feel like Golden Point is always bad vibes. And then last night, I did a bit of research, and it is always bad vibes.
Yeah. I think when you're on the wrong end of it, it's easier to say this shouldn't be happening.
Oh, if we won...
If you won, you'd be like, Golden Point's the best. So,
you
got to take the good with the bad. But the boys are still mathematically in with a chance. I know they're not going to give up until it's actually dead. There's a lot of things that have to go our way for that to happen. But
we're going to fight till death.
Correct. And obviously this week... they'll be back at it and doing their thing. So,
and then one more bit of good news.
Yeah.
Kayla Rom.
Yeah. Kayla Rom's the best, man.
She truly is.
She's
and
the best.
this award nomination really speaks to that.
Yeah.
Nominated for the Veronica White medal.
Yeah. She does a lot in the community space. She's very passionate about it. Same with Dill Lucas as well. Dill getting nominated. For Ken Stevens, both.
So go vote for them.
Yeah, great nominees. Kayla Rom, she, it's not a tokenistic thing to her. It's not something to get in front of a camera and look like, how good am I doing? Like, if it's a club thing, if it's something she's doing on her own bat, if it's something that she's doing for a local club, she's always down there with the kids doing her thing. She's a genuine person that generally deserves the nomination. And man, hopefully, and the thing is, obviously you want your players to win the award. It's not really about winning an award. It's about showing the recognition for all the players in all the clubs that are the work that they're doing and how important it is in the community. So,
which I think we're in a really good space at the moment, that across both men's and women's, right across the league, there are a lot of people that maybe don't usually get the recognition.
Yeah.
Like, we all know that Kayla and Dill do heaps of great stuff for the community. But I think awards like this really spotlight all the people, particularly from other clubs, that you actually wouldn't really know. If you're not in the inner workings of those clubs, you might not notice that they're doing that, because a vast majority aren't doing it for the credit. They're not doing it for the recognition.
That's what I was going to say. And if you've, there's some players that get nominated for that stuff that have been ex-players here that for a fact that they're not doing it to win an award. It's just a byproduct of something that they're passionate about, that's who you want to be nominated, the people that are doing it for the right reasons. And in our case, 100%. So
go vote for them. Get around it. Get your mum to vote for them. Get your dad to vote for them. Have you voted yet?
Extended family. Let's go first cousins, maybe a grandmother.
Get on the dating apps. Tell everyone to...
Are you friends with the guy from 7-Eleven, Servo?
Yeah.
When you get your breakfast in the morning? Tell him to vote too.
Have you voted?
No. I will. I will, but
Go do it now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to make sure you do it before we
I was
finish up.
making a 7-Eleven segue because the pie Red Bull deal is apparently your fuel.
I love it.
You gave me nothing back, and I was like, "This is going down bad."
I went to the Mark Hughes Ball this weekend, and I got my dress delivered at my local 7-Eleven.
Did you really?
One of the girls had to loan me a dress. She's like, "Oh, I'll just pull up at 7-Eleven."
And you're like, perfect.
So I had like my dress in one hand, my Red Bull and my pie in the other.
Did you say I'm already here?
Yeah.
That's a great
I was
spot.
like, this is where I always go. It's my favourite place in the world.
How was the ball, by the way?
It was amazing. Mark Hughes, not to give too many shout outs this episode, but Mark Hughes is just truly one of the best people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Like, he just does so much good for the world and is so kind, just the best person.
We obviously Bedsy was blue shirt for the men on Sunday, so he was there the night before, and he said it was a great night. Yeah, so no, it sounds like it went well with everyone. Your Instagram story was quite good. It looked like you had a lot of fun. Lots of group shots, selfies,
Lots of group shots.
toenail references,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
They're growing back.
Yeah,
They're getting there.
okay. That's toenail watch for
That's
this
your
episode.
toenail update on this episode of Toes HQ. We're going to go to a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we will be joined by the one and only Sheridan Gallagher. Welcome back to Nice HQ. We are joined by the one and only Sheridan Gallagher.
Yeah.
How you going?
Yeah.
Yeah, round of applause all around. That's it. After that round of applause, really good.
Question for you before we start.
Yeah.
I'm going to just take Jay's first question.
That's fine.
Did you see Jay stack it twice at Shark Park on the weekend?
Yeah, look, it was pretty funny. I'd love to get the CCTV footage of it. I think it'd go viral.
Did you actually see it?
Yeah.
You actually saw me fall over?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened.
It was good. It was good.
Where were you guys?
In the box.
You saw me fall
Bird's
over.
eye view.
Oh, man.
Bird's eye view. Yeah, something you'll never live down.
That's incredible.
I was actually peeking, hey?
Yeah.
I was like, there's so many people here and I can't hide and I'm in the goal. Anyway,
Yeah.
we've talked about it enough. Yeah. Maybe we'll get the vision, maybe. Healing process will start if we get the vision. Tunes of the week.
Tunes.
We're
going
to start with tunes of the week. What's everyone feeling?
I actually put a little, a little bit of thought into this one. And
Okay.
I've actually got a couple here. One Too Many by Luke Combs. I feel like that really represents, my life.
Okay.
That's how many falls.
Especially in the off
That's how many
season.
falls Jay had.
Yeah, one too many falls for Jay as well. So,
Thank you, Lavender.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
yeah, I think that's really.
Yeah.
Look, also you can't go past Mr. Brightside.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty
That'll bring you up when you fall down.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Always brings you back up.
Yep. Is that it? 2?
Yeah, I think those two for me. Really
Killers
top it
and
off.
Luke Combs.
Yeah.
It's a good combo.
I've got 2. Posty's country album
Oh,
dropped.
that's good. That's good.
So I've got a couple tunes on that I like. Is it Pour Me a Drink
Oh,
with Blake Shelton?
yeah.
Is that his name? That's a banger. And there's one in there that he Don't Belong to Me, Don't Belong to Us or something. It's after the Dolly Parton song. That's a good one. Also, for all you people in there that don't care about this at all, Blink-182 played in Canada, in Toronto, in the big baseball
Yes, they
stadium
did.
there.
Yes.
And
they
their
did.
support
Are you a Blink
band.
fan as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
nice.
Don't mind a song.
Yeah. Well, their support band is a Canadian hardcore band called Alexis on Fire. They've been around for
Great
ages.
band.
Yeah. Because Alexis on Fire were their support band, they've been putting heaps of stuff on social media going, how good was this gig? Because they get to play in a stadium full of people
That's
now
it.
too. And I've just gone a bit of a throwback. So lots of 04, 05 emo vibes with
Bit of
Alexis
old
on
school
Fire.
Alexis.
Yeah, good
Love
stuff.
that.
Bring
yeah.
out the youth.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's
Watch
it.
Out by Alexis on Fire. It came out in 2004, I think.
Were you born
Check it out, kids.
Oh, I was
Just.
2.
Oh, okay.
I was
Were you 2?
I
Yeah.
was 2.
Hey, you're never too old
That's it.
to go back.
You're never too old to have an emo phase. That's
Correct,
what
correct.
I always say. Do you want to know? I just opened my Spotify.
Yeah, what do we got?
Do you know what my most recent song was? Vintage Jesse McCartney.
Unreal. No, that's good.
So
good
just
stuff.
having a really normal,
Yeah.
having a normal week.
Actually, going back to Cronulla
Yes.
on the weekend, they played, is it Hey Baby? I Want to Know If You Want to Be My Girl?
Yes.
We were standing around, we're like, doesn't matter when you play this song, it's the best.
Yeah.
Just really hits home.
You know what I mean?
Really hits home.
And like obviously at Shark Park this weekend, it was a bit somber,
Yeah.
but they played that to the pair and I was like, why am I
It's
happy
like Mr.
now.
Bicycle.
Bopping along, yeah.
And you know, if like a band finishes their gig at the pub or the DJ stops and the crowd just starts it up
Yeah.
as you're leaving,
Yep.
lights on,
Yeah.
get out of here, but everyone starts to chant. Unreal.
It's good.
Anyway,
Good.
there's tunes of the week.
Now we're going to get a bit more heavy.
Yeah.
We're going to start hard.
All right, go.
Decision to pivot to league.
Oh.
Talk me through it.
You said you just wanted to tackle people, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said when you come here,
That's
at
what I
least.
was told.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
still stand?
I mean, like, that was a part of the reason, yeah. There's
Yeah.
lots of other reasons that go with it. I think a big part for me was losing my dad at 16, and I went to a World Cup at 19, and I think, you know, running out in front of a home crowd there with, I think it was 35,000 Costa Rican fans and a little small part of Aussie fans in the crowd, and I think to look up into that and he wasn't up there, I think for me that really hit home. And when I got home, still pretty fortunate to play for Western Sydney Wanderers, but it just was never the same. And I think, you know, playing league and having a little bit of fun, it really, you know, ignited that flame as to why I play sport, and it's all because we want to have fun, and that was, you know, real fun for me.
Yeah. How's you transitioned to league? It's a completely different sport, completely new team, and last year Ron was the coach,
Yep.
and Ron's thing in 22 and 23 when he was the head coach was all about connection.
Yep.
Getting the girls together. Did you immediately feel that when you come to the club for that first year?
Yeah, look, I actually,
Not to say that you don't have it now, but you know what I mean. Like the first.
We've actually interviewed everyone that works at the Knights.
Yeah.
They all say they hate you.
Yeah.
look, to be fair, fair judgment. Nah, kidding.
Yeah. Was that sort of something that you felt straight away with the group of girls?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I walked through this building and you know, it just felt like home. It was like everything had fallen off my shoulders, and, you know, I was free to walk. And I think that's sort of something that Ronald did really well, was sort of embrace that culture and really connect everyone and, you know, get us connected to the fans, the country, and, you know, sort of go off and, you know, be your own person before you're an athlete. And I think that's what we really enjoyed.
Yeah. Did what was the first game? Do you remember the first game that you played where you felt, yep, like I've made the right decision. This is where I need to be. Like, you're never really comfortable out there, but you know what I mean? Like, you've got a bit of a swagger, a bit of confidence that you've made the right decision and you like are where you need to be.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was when we played the Broncos up here in our round game, and you know, we sort of come from behind, and Jesse kicked us, you know, to win the game just after the siren had gone on full time. And I think that was sort of when I really, you know, looked up into the crowd, and I think it was something like 19,000 people there for the women's game. And you know, for me, that's when I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is what I'm about. This is what sport is, and this is what we love.
Yeah, unreal.
I did want to ask you, what was the pressure like? So obviously Ron saw you play 2 games for the Mounties and was like, sign her up. She's never played rugby league in her life, but I want her. And I was reading that the old head of football at Wanderers also said that you could professionally play any ball sport in the world and you'd be good at it. Is that a lot of pressure coming into a new thing and having everyone, obviously you have killed it, but starting a new sport professionally at this level for a club like the Knights, was that a lot of pressure to come into everyone thinking that you were just going to naturally be the best at it?
Yeah, for sure. I think when I played, you know, those 2 games, I was just doing it for a bit of fun. There was no pressure at all. No one knew about it. I didn't even tell my mum or nan. So I snuck off for those 2 games. And then obviously coming up here and playing in the, you know, my first NRLW game here was at home against the Dragons, and there was a lot of eyes watching then. There was a lot of newspaper articles, a lot of journos that had done stories in the 7 weeks leading up to it. And I think there was a time there, and I think it was, you know, 2 weeks before we played round 1, and I actually rang, you know, a really good friend of mine, and I said, I can't do it. I'm not cut out for this. I'm going home. And she said, you know, ring me in the morning and tell me with the same thing. And I rang her the next morning, and I was like, nah, I'm going to stay. Yeah, there was a lot of pressure there, and I think, you know, it's a privilege to have pressure, and, you know, I really do like it. I really do embrace it. So I think, you know, there was a little part of me that thought I couldn't do it, but, you know, look, we're here today.
Well, I want to give you a shout out because I feel like you are an unsung hero of last year's grand final. That 1-on-1 steal gets overlooked a little bit, I feel. But, mate, that was a huge play. In the context of the game, completely spun it on its head, the rate, like where we were going against the run of play. after that, still we come down and score.
Yeah.
Like, mate, those moments, those things, those little things, maybe the things that aren't on a stat sheet, do you pride yourself on being the person that does that consistently?
I think, yeah, for sure. I remember sitting in the sheds at half time and Ronald sort of spoke to the group and he said, what is it going to take? Who's going to be that player that stands up and does something for the team? And I was actually sitting there and, you know, I think last year I'd done my MCL and I was trying to push through those 2 games and I was like, you know what? Like this is, like that's going to be me. Like I'm doing it for the girls and I'm doing it for, you know, the town at home and we're going to bring that trophy home. And I think, you know, when it sort of happened on the field, I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is like what James are made of.
Yeah. Because I know, like, obviously playing on the wing, you're scoring a lot of tries and things like that. And look, I'm only going from outside in here. The way that you play the game and the way you are generally is very gritty, aggressive, you know what I mean? Like, that's your vibe, you know? So plays like that, I feel like are really up your alley, like a big hit or a stealing of the ball or that type of thing. So, I just was like, man, Shez needs her flowers for that moment because it was a big one in the game.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was really cool.
How was it? Obviously, you started with the Knights around the same time as the Women's World Cup was in Australia. Was there a part of you when that massive hype blew up around women's football that hadn't been there for years? Was there a part of you that was like, have I made the right choice pivoting codes? And then how did you feel, obviously, a couple of months later when you won a grand final?
Yeah, absolutely not. I love the hype and the vibe and what it's done for sport for women in Australia, but I was actually pretty fortunate to go down there and still be friends with some of the girls in the team and, you know, I got to sit with their family and, you know, still be really a part of, you know, that environment and, you know, sit there as they played 2 games at a core stadium and then I think, like, to run out for that grand final at a core stadium, I was like, wow, like, I just watched my mates, like, playing a home World Cup and I'm running out here for a grand final. It was sort of like, you know, a bittersweet story of like they got to do their thing here and I'm doing my thing. Like it was pretty cool to actually see that.
It's like you're in sort of like you got your moment that was like, this is where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool that, like, as you said, you still felt part of it, even though you weren't out on the field.
Yeah.
You still got to be part of their success, but have your version of that, playing league with the Knights. So, and the same stadium too. That would have been
it was
a bit
like
of a trip. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like I remember sitting in the stands watching the Matildas play against, I think it was Ireland, their first game. And a couple of the girls that I actually played soccer with, I didn't know they were going, and I just walked down, had a little hat on, hoodie on, sat in my seat, and one of the girls goes, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, probably the same thing as you watching the soccer, I don't know." And then after the grand final, I'd had the trophy over my shoulder, and she yelled out, and she goes, "Oi, what are you doing here?" And I was like, nice. I don't know.
Like, I'm just taking it home.
So that was like actually a pretty cool, like, full circle moment.
I want to ask you something that I've been a part of during your rugby league career is every time you rock up to a game and I take a photo of you arriving, you've got a fresh pair of sunnies on.
That's it.
What's the story behind the sunnies? Where did that originate from? And, you know, I know there's obviously a vibe part of it, that it always brings the vibe, but is there a deeper story to that?
Like, is it a new pair every week?
Yeah, fresh out of the box every week.
Do you have a Sunnies sponsor?
No, but
somebody sponsor this woman.
Bang.
That's it. Hit us up. Pit Viper, come on.
Yeah.
No, it was actually because of the World Cup. I seen Megan Rapone do it when she was walking through the stadium, and she was at a core stadium too.
Yeah.
And she had like Pit Vipers on. I was like, that looks fresh. Like, I reckon I could pull that off. I was like, not many people probably could, but like, I'm a little bit different. People already know I'm different. Like, I reckon I could do it. And I walked into the sunglass shop and the lady goes, "Oh, can I help you for any sunglasses?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, just not sure what I want." She like pointed me to like Pradas, and I was like, "Nah, that's not it. Like, I'm not going for that vibe. Like, give me some Pit Vipers." So I went, picked up a pair and put them on, and I was like, "Nah, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be me every game now." And you know, like when I walk around, the kids after a game, they go, "Can we have your glasses? Give me your glasses." So I think it's like a little bit of a thing that's stuck now.
Well, it's good for the content team because we already know that you're going to be bringing the energy on an arrival photo. Yeah, Pit Viper, reach out. Exactly. Surely. Are they an Australian brand? Pit Viper? Or are they American? Maybe it sounds American.
Nah, Oakley's Australian.
Yeah. Would you take an Oakley sponsorship?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bang,
sure.
Oakley.
I do want to ask you something completely left of field.
Yeah.
show jumping. When we did the what Olympic sport could you do, and you said equestrian.
Yeah.
I fully thought you were taking the piss.
No.
Talk me through show jumping.
So you've done it before?
Proper,
You were pretty good at it, weren't you?
Look, here's my lock screen.
Okay.
It's like,
Can you send us whatever you're about to show us so we can put it up on the screen for the listeners at home?
it's literally, oh, come on, be my friend. Literally, that is my horse on my lock screen.
God.
There you go. What's your horse's name?
That one's Lockie. I've had a
Lockie.
few in my time, but yeah that's him.
Have you been to Yaz's farm and seen her horses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She hasn't let us go out and ride a few bulls yet, but we'll get there eventually.
So you still do it to this day?
When I
Horse
have
riding
time,
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I sneak back home every now and then and go for a little trot.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah.
So you literally could do equestrian. So you've done it in competition?
Proper, yeah. Yeah.
How does it
what's
make you feel
proper?
that
What
everybody
level
thought
is
you were
that?
Choky?
Yeah, what level is that? Sorry, I'm not privy to equestrian levels and things that happen. Yeah.
The Easter show when you walk
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
That was
And you would be doing that, horseback riding?
yeah.
Wow.
Dude.
And I grew up training race horses and
Yeah, wow.
a little shout out to my brother. He actually trains them still and
Yeah.
he's always at the races every week and doing his thing. So I sort of grew up doing that and that's all I sort of knew back then.
So if we need a hot tip on a Saturday,
Yeah, that's it.
bang.
That's it.
Hectic.
Hit me up.
Man, how's that? Is there any sport that you haven't done at the highest level for this country?
Look. No, there's probably not too much. Maybe table tennis, but I'm probably woeful at that. So
I want to ask you,
yeah.
is NRL the final sport?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
How many more do you reckon you can cross off in your professional sporting career?
Look, there's
you can
not too many left. But
Is there a number in your head I want to do?
No, I wouldn't even say there's a number. I think my dream is always to go to the Olympics. So whether that is for equestrian when I'm 60 and I cannot run anymore, but I'd love to go to the Olympics for rugby sevens. I think that would be a pretty cool icing on the cake type moment. But yeah, definitely for now I'm sort of locked in on rugby league. But there could be even AFL. You never know.
I was going to say, are you going to cross the Barassi line and go play some AFL?
Look,
Don't.
to be fair, completely honest, before I came to league, I had a little crack at AFL and it just didn't hit that spot quite I thought it would. But you
didn't get to tackle people as hard.
Yeah, but it's growing and
you never know.
You never know.
Hey mate, so far, what are your thoughts and feelings about the season so far? The first few games.
Yeah,
We're 4 in. Obviously, we don't want to lose games, but there has been 2 wins, 2 losses.
Yeah.
Where do you think we're at?
Yeah, look, it's not always going to be a straight road. It's that same old cliche. It's not that straight line. You're going to have losses. You're going to have downfalls. And I'm a big believer of the worst time after, your worst times are your biggest achievements. So hopefully it's a little bit of a, turning point for us and we can sort of turn our season around here and really group ourselves together and sort of come back from that.
The I guess the advantage of how it's gone so far is, and we've said this earlier, with the final structure in the NRLW, if you're going to lose any games and have a few growing problems, it's now.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you've still got more than enough chance to be able to get it going in the back end of the year. But if you have your worst game in that semi, or you have your worst game in that GF,
you
don't get a second bite at that cherry.
That's
so,
it.
Looking at the advantages, that's something that you guys can take as learning, I guess, and keep building towards what the ultimate goal is.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've sort of still got that. What we had last year, and it's just sort of about fine tuning that and really bringing those details together. And I really think we can do that. I think this week's another week. We've sort of reset from that and sort of move on and, go down to Parramatta this week and rip in.
Yeah.
We love that. Again, being so new to rugby league, you got the call up into Sky Blues camp this year.
Yeah.
How bad next year are you gunning for that spot?
Oh, it was actually a big shock when I did get that, sort of email to say that it had been invited in. But I think it only just ignited the flame even more to be man, I really want to be there. I want to wear that blue jersey. I think even more, Mum lives in Brisbane and she was like sort of rubbing it in a little bit. Oh, Queensland won, and I was like, man, I'm going to show you, like, you'll be crying next year, and like,
I love that. That's the motivation. Is I want to make my mum cry.
literally.
That's why if there's anyone who's meant to play for the Blues, it's someone that's willing to make their mum cry. Who's on the other side of the state line.
Literally, make her cry.
You're like, sorry, I'm in Blues camp. I actually can't talk to you.
Proper. I'll be like hardcore, like, no, not even talk to her, like, for the whole time.
That's what we need. That's the energy we need.
Literally.
Rugby league is built on destroying
it's
families.
mate versus mate, state versus state for a reason.
That's it.
You know, daughter versus mother even. Let's add it in.
Willing to put families at risk, you know.
If that doesn't get you the call up, it's like, I will cut off my mother.
Yep.
Hear that, Jimmy? Bang. That's loyalty to the state.
You wouldn't know anything about that, Jimmy.
Know anything about it. All good. Well, mate, thanks for coming in.
No, thanks for having me.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, what a story.
The show jumping part is unreal.
It's really like
I didn't even know that. That was great. Yeah.
This was my research last night. I'm like, yeah, cool, football, Wanderers, World Cup. I knew all that. And then I saw show jumping. I'm like,
what?
Is this one of those things where like somebody's jumped in your Wikipedia and been like, I'm just going to put this in for a laugh?
And you know when like Jimmy made that video of you guys with the Olympic sports, it's all, very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
When you said equestrian, I was like, equestrian, you're making a joke. No.
Yep.
Legit.
Proper.
Can we get some footage of you show jumping?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we need to
something around
that with like
I reckon there
the
would
joke
be.
versus the reality of you just actually being this baller at equestrian.
Oi, LA 28, mate. You reckon?
Look.
Do you reckon?
Look, I'm not going to say no because you never say never.
Like how much, again, I know nothing about this sport at all.
Yeah.
How much is it the person on the horse and how much of it is the horse?
A lot of it's the horse. It'd be like me going out there to try and play in the NFL as a quarterback. Like, I'd be absolutely woeful.
Yeah.
But, like, if you've got a good horse, you're, like, 95% of the way there.
Okay.
Do you know what the horse plane is called that they take them to the Olympics on? It's called Air Horse One.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Actually?
It's genuinely called Air Horse One.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Unreal.
That's good.
Look, I reckon a few more seasons at the Knights, maybe 27. End of 27. No. End of 2027. Okay. Start a bit more horse riding stuff. Yeah. LA 28, bang, equestrian.
Drag that momentum in. We'll have Snoop Dogg in there. He'd be crip walking down the street with us. Like,
If you win a gold medal in equestrian at the Olympics, I'm claiming that we came up with that idea today.
Yeah, it was all us. It wasn't the years of dedication that you put to it.
No, not at all.
The 20th of August, 2024. I'll mark that in the books.
Write it down.
All right, Shez, thanks heaps, mate.
Thanks so much.
No, thank you for having me.
This is Knights HQ.
Welcome back to Knights HQ. What a great interview from Shez.
She's the best, man. What a talented person.
I wish I had even half the talent in any of the sports.
Like, I can barely do my job.
To be honest with you, I'm just kind of scared of horses, let alone jumping them.
Yeah. Like,
you can barely do your job. You do.
Yeah. Well, there's people
sometimes you fall, but you get back up.
Hey, Lav.
Hey, Jae.
You can leave a review.
You can rate us 5 stars.
Rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Music.
You can comment on YouTube.
You can get the bells on YouTube as well.
Yep.
To be notified when these episodes drop. We're on YouTube. We're on all podcast platforms. Make sure you get involved with Knights HQ.
Follow us on Instagram at Knights HQ and at NRL Knights.
All the updates are there. Some clips are up there.
If you're lucky, we'll find the footage of Jae stacking it, and that'll be an exclusive Knights HQ.
I was going to say that's probably worth following the accounts to see me.
Yeah, turn on
fall over twice in about a minute. So unreal.
Hanging in the Louvre.
Pleasure doing business with you, Lav.
Pleasure doing business with you.
And we'll see you on the next one.
See you next week.